All right. Well, once again, good morning to everybody. Again, I hope everybody is doing well. For the most part, I haven't gone through the quizzes yet. I will be going through those sometime today, going through grading them. I am also going to be grading. I've noticed some more late work popping in, which is good. Obviously, I would prefer it if it was on time, but I'm also glad that again that we are getting more of it turned in because obviously I want to make sure that everybody's getting the materials first and foremost. So today, again, I already told you yesterday that there was going to be a quiz on the video that I had you watch yesterday. So I know two quizzes in a row. Don't normally do that, but you had a quiz on the podcast on the writing strategies because on Thursday and then Friday for my fifth and sixth period, we're going to be writing a brief write. It'll be the first brief write of the semester. So I wanted to make sure that I answered any questions that you might have had about writing. So that's what the purpose of the podcast was. The purpose of the video that you were supposed to watch yesterday after you took the quiz, the 13-minute video, was you were supposed to basically watch the video and then it's talking about rhetorical strategies, which is going to be kind of the focus of Julius Caesar. There's a lot of rhetorical strategies are just like the techniques that people use to persuade people. So we're going to be looking at how the different characters persuade one another, how effective they are in persuading. So that means like, were they convincing enough to get people to do what they wanted? And explaining why they were convincing or why they weren't convincing. Why did it work on certain characters and not others? So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. So there is going to be that quiz on rhetorical strategies. So it's actually called Rhetorical Strategies Quiz. It's in this week's module, as is everything. So if you go to Tuesday, it'll be the Rhetorical Strategies Quiz. There'll be a little emoji like this. So it's just this one is multiple choice, so it should go by pretty quick. So I'll give you guys about 15 minutes to take the quiz, and then afterwards we will move on to the activity that we're going to be doing today. So go ahead and take the quiz, and I'll be making sure that we are all taking it. Again, if you're not taking it, again, this is our synchronous activity. So you will be marked absent. So you need to make sure that you are participating and taking this. Otherwise, you've turned on your iPad and you've wandered away somewhere, but you're no longer attending class. Already got Daniel, Josh, Camilla taking it. Thank you, you three. Everybody else, Kathleen, thank you. Aaron, Jesus, thank you for starting on the quiz. Ricardo, thank you. Kaloni, thank you. Joanna, thank you. Brandon, Sierra, thank you for starting it. Brian, thank you. All right, Pedro, I need you to be starting it as well. Let's see. Antoine, you need to be starting the quiz. No, not on this one. I just put the video on there. The questions are on like just like a normal quiz. I'm double checking right now. Yeah, it should work. It should be like, so here, I'll change my screen so you can see. Okay. So it takes you to this one, and then you just click on where it says take the quiz. And then you have all the questions right there. Antoine, if it's saying page not found, it might be a Wi-Fi issue. But like I said, this is the student view. So if it's working in this view, it should be working for you as well. Obviously, some people have already started taking it. Okay, thank you, Pedro, for starting it. Antoine, thank you. Miguel, you need to be starting the quiz as well.
I'm watching the video.
Okay, well, again, that was homework. You were supposed to do that last night. So again, you're supposed to do that before because we have other stuff to do. So you need to start the quiz. Again, the podcast and the videos are not meant to be watched during class. They're meant to be watched before class. So again, make sure that you are doing that. Again, I'm trying to save you homework by not making you write as much at home or read as much at home, trying to do that during class. But in order to do that, I need you guys to kind of stay on top of watching the videos and listening to the podcast. Looks like pretty much everybody's taking it who's here, so that's good. Okay, Antoine, hold on. Let me double check, see what's going on. Antoine, it's saying that you might be looking at yesterday's quiz because because it's showing that you're in the middle of taking the quiz right now. It hasn't showed that you submitted it. Refresh. Yeah, it's still showing that you're taking it. All right, we'll take about 10 more minutes. Looks like most of you have a little less than 10 minutes, but there's a few of you who started a few minutes. Okay, Antoine, yeah, if you could send me a screenshot, because like I said, right now it's showing that you are taking the quiz. No worries. I just recommended to somebody else that they leave while they were taking it. Again, Antoine, like I just sent you a message saying that you should leave the Zoom meeting, take the quiz, come back. It might even help you with sending that remind message too. So again, Antoine, leave the meeting, take the quiz, come back when you're done. All right, let's see how we're doing. Sure. Let me go ahead and stop sharing and let me make it to where you can share. Hold on a second. All right, Antoine, go ahead. Because right now it's showing that you're taking the quiz. It hasn't showed that you submitted anything. So yeah, if I could just see what's going on, I can hopefully help you fix it. Okay. Well, there's your problem. How many times have I told you to never use the app because the app is glitchy and doesn't work right? Like I said, I know the app sucks. Again, this is why you should all be using sanger.instructure.com. So I'll put it again, I'll put it in the chat. But again, this is why I always say it's like I know that the app is buggy, but that's why I've told you guys to not use it. Because 90% of the problems you have come from that. And just remember your username is your ID. And then your password is first initial, last initial, birth months, birthday. So it should be 6 digits like that. So I think once you do that, in fact, Antoine, let me go ahead. I'm going to give you another because it's going to probably kick you out. So let me give you another attempt. So that way it'll let you take it, okay? Now that I see what the issue was.
No, I don't think I need it.
What's that?
I don't think I need it. It's a resume quiz.
Okay. Well, like I said, I gave you one in case you need it. So, but because like I said, it shows that you're taking it, even though it obviously you weren't or weren't able to. All right. Most of us are wrapping up. Let me get back to the slide I was on. Hey, Desi. So we're taking, as you can see behind me, we're taking a rhetorical strategies quiz right now. It's on the video that you were supposed to watch yesterday about rhetorical strategies. I gave you different examples of what they were. It was about a 13, 14-minute video, and it's a 15 multiple choice question quiz. Okay, let's make sure we're showing up to class both in general and on time. All right, how are we doing? Let me check to see who's still taking it. So, Andres, you're almost out of time. Pedro and well, Antoine, you're retaking it, but Pedro and Andres, you're almost out of time. So please make sure you're finishing up. Looks like most of the people on that page are done. Everyone's done on the second page, and then okay, just a couple people. So, I'm gonna really quick make a breakout room for those of you who are still taking the quiz. Everybody else is gonna hang out here. So Desi, I'm putting you in a breakout room to take the quiz. Antoine, I'm putting you in because so you could take yours as well. Or let's see, Pedro, you're done. Okay. Andres, are you almost done? Because you're about to run out of time too. No, that grade won't have a big effect on your overall grade. It'd be worse if you obviously got a 0 out of 15, but that's not going to have a huge impact. And Andres, were you almost done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Desi and Antoine, I'm putting you in the other room to finish. Okay. All right. For everybody else, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to review the quiz really quick just to make sure we're all on the same page. So I'm going to actually stop sharing that. All right. Okay, so I know it says unanswered because it has me as a test student, but anyways, really quickly, so let's try to go through this. So if I can get you to respond in the chat, what is ethos? Which one is it? Or you could unmute, I don't really care. We can move this along pretty quick. So what is ethos? Ricardo, you got them all right, and yet you're getting it wrong right now. So I'm not sure how that happened. So Ricardo, rethink that one. Daniel, good. Camilla, Kiloni, Josh, good. Yep. So again, ethos is credibility. It is not logic. So like I said, Ricardo, you got that right in the test. But anyways, yeah, so it's basically it's the idea of like the doctor who's telling you you should take this medicine because studies have shown blank, you know. So again, it's that doctor, it's his credibility that's persuading you to do something. It's somebody who's had the same life experiences that you have had. Like, it's somebody that you could relate to, somebody that you can trust, you know. So that's what ethos is. Okay, pathos. Which one is pathos? This one was kind of like a little bit of a trick question. Well, there's two of them that say emotion, so which one? Yeah, it's the appealing to the emotion. All of these are about appealing to people and making people want to do something or wanting people to think a certain way. So yeah, it's when you try to make them. It's like the commercials for like the dog rescues, where show all the dogs and all the sad music. That's pathos. So it's making you feel an emotion. So if we were to describe those commercials again, emotion would be like guilt, sadness, anything like that. So again, you have to describe which emotion it is in order for it to be like a complete like thought, but that's essentially what it is. Now we're into logos. Logos is easy because the word sounds like the answer basically. So which one is number 3? And remember, you guys are allowed to unmute too. I mean, I don't mind hearing other people's voices. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to myself in a dark room, which I kind of am. Yep, that is.
To logic.
Thank you. I actually heard somebody. Yes, it is logic. All right. So, number 4, rhetorical strategies are used to tell audience members that they need to appeal to the speaker. Is that true or false?
False.
Correct. So, it's not appealing to the speaker, it's appealing to the audience. So, again, rhetorical strategies are used to appeal to the people that they're talking to, not to the person who's talking. So if I'm trying to convince you guys that you need to get a good grade in here, I'm trying to convince my audience that. I'm not trying to convince myself that. All right, so now we're getting into the examples. So Michael Jordan, a famous basketball player, shares how wearing Dr. Scholl's inserts changed his life. And if you're unfamiliar with that, again, they're like the soles. So again, not the sole inside, the sole in our shoe, like the cobbler. Yeah, and then if somebody could like explain why it's ethos. Joanna, go ahead and unmute. Why do you think it's ethos?
I think that it's ethos because Michael Jordan is known for playing basketball, as it says right there. So he must know a lot about shoes and how comfortable they are, I guess.
Right.
And he's one to say. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, an athlete would be using, like something to improve their game, to improve their comfort. So again, he has a trustworthiness. We know who he is. We know like what he's again known for. So that's exactly why. All right, number 6, a video game shares images of malnourished children in a third world country. It then asks you to donate $10 per month. Which one is that? All right. Yeah, we're all getting it. So the correct answer is pathos. Brandon, what emotion is that making us feel? Like if you were to say any emotion, what emotion would you say that we're trying to feel? If you could unmute and tell us what emotion that this commercial is trying to make us feel. Again, if you can unmute, Brandon.
Sad.
Right. Either so you could say sad, you could even say guilty because maybe you feel bad, or maybe you feel sympathetic, like you feel like sorry for these people. So yeah, so like again, So whenever you describe pathos, you need to be sure to describe what emotion it's trying to make you feel. It could be anger. It could be happy. It's not always a bad emotion that it's trying to make you feel. Like if it's telling you a joke, that's also pathos, because again, they're trying to make you feel joy. They're trying to make you feel happy. Okay, so number 7, an educational reform speaker shares statistics stating that 85% of students benefit from using technology in a classroom. That's an example of blank. All right, most of us are getting it. Mia, which one is it? If you could unmute and let us know what you think the correct answer was.
Is it ethos?
Not ethos. Remember, it's giving us a statistic. So which one deals with statistics? Like it's a logical thing to think about.
Logos?
Right. So anytime you see statistics, graphs, anytime it doesn't always have to be numbers either. If they're using some sort of like evidence to help prove their point, that's going to be logos. So number 7 would be logos. Thank you, Mia. Number 8, an anti-soda ad claim said 75% of children who are overweight drink at least 1 can of soda per day. What is this one? Ricardo.
Logos.
Logos, good, because again, we're using statistics. All right, number 9, a doctor encourages the audience to eat at least 4 servings of colorful vegetables each day. Which one is this? All right, Kathleen, if you could unmute and let us know which one you think this is. Kathleen, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so which one do you think that number 9 is? Ethos, logos, or
I
pathos?
think pathos.
Okay. All right. So in this case, it would not be pathos because it's not really, there's no emotion tied with it. So,
It's like convincing.
I'm sorry?
Is it pathos?
No. That's so
I
pathos.
mean, ethos. My bad.
Yeah. Ethos is the correct answer. So this one's kind of tricky. Some people put logos for this one because they saw the number 4. So eat at least 4 servings of colorful vegetables each day. And so some people got drawn into that and picked logos. It is ethos though, because again, there's a doctor present. So again, it's somebody, if it was just some random person on the street telling you like, you need to eat your vegetables, that's not as convincing as having like a doctor or a nutritionalist tell you that you need to be doing that. All right, number 10, a young girl is at an anti-bullying rally and shares her emotional story to convince the audience that bullying must be stopped. Which one would that be? All right, good. Pathos. Let's go ahead and move on. Rhetorical appeals work to do blank. I'm gonna say if you're good at multiple choice tests, you'd probably have an idea of which one this is, but right. So it does all 3. So it grabs the audience's attention. It allows the speaker to actively share his or her opinions. It persuades audience members to trust what the speaker is saying. So it does all 3 of those things. Number 12, a commercial plays with a man having a heart attack and is trying to sell you their medication. Yep. All right. Let's see. Aaron Rojas. Which one do you think it is? If you could unmute and let us know.
It's a scare tactic.
Correct, because again, it's making us afraid. It's like, oh, if I don't take their medication, I could have a heart attack. So exactly. Commercial plays with a person asking if you've ever thought about the dangers of what smoking is. Again. Yep, as people are putting it in the chat, it is scare tactics again. All right, a commercial plays with the phrase, the times are changing, repeating over and over is an example of what? All right, good. Most of us are getting it. It is anaphora. So it's not a rhetorical question because there's no question being asked, right? Even though in a rhetorical question, we're not looking for necessarily an answer, there still has to be a question. It's not a scare tactic unless you're really scared about times changing, then I guess it could be a scare tactic for you. But I would say that the majority of people, times changing are not, isn't scary. There's no patriotic imagery in here. So nothing that would indicate either American or another country, like any images that go along with that. So yeah, it would be anaphora. And anaphora, again, is really simple. It's just, it's repetition, but it's specifically repetition at the beginning of sentences. So like, what was the speech that I gave an example of in the video? For anaphora, like what speech that has the repeating phrase at the beginning of each sentence? Thank you, Camilla. It was, yes, the I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King. And finally, number 15, a commercial plays with the military running an operation and glimpses of the flag being shown throughout the commercial is which rhetorical appeal? All right, and Kayloni, could I have you unmute and say what you put because you got it right?
Patriotism.
Yeah, patriotism. So again, we see an American flag, and like I said, we will see patriotism in Julius Caesar. It just won't be American patriotism; it'll be Roman patriotism that we see. So, anyways, great job, and thank you for participating. I appreciate that very much. You guys did a great job, and I'm hoping that that helps you with understanding. Maybe you already had a good understanding of rhetorical appeals before this class. Maybe it just reinforced it. Maybe you had, no idea about it. But again, I'm hoping that overall it was helpful. So, like I said, I try to make sure that the videos are not super long, that they're informative. I don't think you need an hour-long lecture on it. So I try to keep it more bite-sized. But we are going to move on. We are going to be doing, hold on a second. Too many slides. Okay. So let me move out of the way. There we go. Okay, so you are going to be working on a political ad video assignment. Now, normally if we were in school, I would have you guys also create the political ad, but you guys can't really do that the way it's all situated right now. But basically, I've basically made a playlist of different political ads. So you're going to be creating a copy of the Google Doc in the assignment. Now, I'm actually going to, again, just like with the dialectical journals, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Again, ultimately, this is your individual responsibility to get done, but there are 16 videos. So I figured if I put you in groups of 4 or 5, you guys can split it up. And that way, it's not as much of you doing it by yourself. In fact, actually, I might do a little bit bigger groups. I might do just where you do a couple of videos each. But basically, you're going to answer the following questions. What candidate is this ad supporting? So who is this ad for? What is the message of the ad that is being used? So what are they trying to, what is if the person making the commercial was to give a pitch to the candidates, like this is a message that we want to say that you're giving to the people of America, blah, blah, blah. So like what message is being used to persuade people to vote for them? Is this a positive or negative ad? So you'll see like usually the positive ads are positive about themselves. Usually the negative ads are like a smear campaign for other people. So just explain why it is positive or why it's negative. Which rhetorical strategies are being used? So again, the ones we just talked about, ethos, pathos, logos, rhetorical question, scare tactic, anaphora, or anaphora, excuse me. And then how is it being used? And then finally, what about this ad worked? What didn't work about it? Why? So like, do you think it was effective in being convincing to people, even if you're not convinced? Because again, maybe, you know, you think like, well, I don't buy into any of this political mumbo jumbo, but would it be convincing to the average person? Why or why not? Okay, so that's essentially what you're going to do. So let me go ahead and change my screen one last time. All right, so here is the political ad. So again, this is a playlist. So you can see here, there are 16 videos. But like I said, I'm going to put you in a breakout room. So maybe when I put you in the breakout room, have one person make a copy of the doc, then share it with everybody. So that way you all have access to it and you could just, you know, make the changes there and not have to do like 16 different like things all by yourself. So again, trying to make this easier for all of you. I'm trying to make it to where you guys can work together. But yeah, so that's basically it. So again, the document's there, that's there. If you on the document itself, so you have again, for all the questions are the same for all 16 videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put you into, I decided I'm just going to split it up into two separate classes or two separate breakout rooms. So basically you're going to have everybody working, half the class will be working together and then the other half of the class is going to be working together and you're all going to decide who's going to do which video. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Maybe I'll do 3 just in case. So we're going to split up the class into thirds. And there we go. All right, so when I split you up, I want one person for each class to go ahead and split it. So I'm just going to tell you who I want to do this just so that there's not any confusion. Chloe, let me make it to where you guys can chat with each other in the breakout rooms too. That'll help. Okay, so Chloe, I want you to create a doc and share it with your breakout room. Joshua, I want you to create a document and share it with the breakout room. And then Joanna, I want you to create a doc and share it with the breakout room. Okay. And so, like I said, there's going to be 3 breakout rooms, and then you guys are all going to work together. You could decide who's going to do which video or videos. Some of you will probably have to do 2 videos. But again, let's try to get this done. Let's try to work as a team and get this knocked out before the end of class. So questions before I split you up? And again, this is the only homework you have. So if you get it done in class, you have literally no homework for my class, which is always a good thing, right? So did anybody have any questions before I open up the breakout rooms? Do we all know what we're doing? Yay, nay? Okay, well, good luck. And again, that was Joanna, Josh, and Chloe. You guys are all creating the dots and you're going to share it. Oh, it's going to be super awkward, Daniel. It's going to be great. I can't wait. No, so what you should do, Chloe, Josh, and Joanna, is when you share the doc, you can create a link that just copy and paste the link into the chat. And again, I made it to where you can chat with everybody. So that way it won't just be to me. Okay. All right. Let the awkwardness ensue.